Hey guys, welcome back to Glam Finds, and I'm here with one that I think a lot of you guys wanted to see. Plus, it's in a really good bottle. So let's go ahead and talk about from Fragrance World French Avenue, Coco Morado. Now, most of you know that this line is mostly inspired by Maison Crivelli fragrances, and this one is supposed to be an Oud Cadenza bottle, which if you look at the bottle, it's also not the same color purple, but it's purple. Let's go ahead and talk about the notes and then what you're going to smell, as usual. There are a lot of notes, so rather than going one by one, there are lots of nice warm spices, dates, sugarcane, some oud notes, caramel, leather, vanilla, tonka, and there's something cacao butter, so you got that. But I can read to you like 400 notes, or I can just tell you what it smells like. And in my opinion, this is just a really fruity leather. At least that's how it comes off. I don't really get too much of the oud, but what I really do get is a fruity leather. Like, I think you will smell the dates. You'll smell the spiciness, but it's like a really nice fruitiness coming from the dates, a nice sweetness coming from them. I mean, you also have caramel and sugarcane and all that stuff, but bottom line, you're going to get a nice fruity leather. It's going to be noticeably dates. I think it's going to be noticeably dates. So spices, leather, dates. I think because it's got like a good dose of sweetness, you're going to probably sense the caramel specifically. And the tonka and the vanilla are definitely ever present. But I also want to mention that saffron is one of the spices, and I think the way that the saffron and the leather are blended, I don't know if you've smelled too many fragrances with that combination, but I do think it gives it a really smooth leather vibe, because saffron can sometimes come off as leather on its own. So I think that if you're looking for something that's a really nice, smooth, almost creamy leather with fruitiness, but like I think something that's a little bit more unique. I believe that the fruitiness from dates typically is a little bit more unique. So you have that like date fruitiness with that smooth, creamy leather. Yeah, it's really smooth. It really is. And I think a perfect dose of spices. This never gets super spicy, even though it has like cinnamon, saffron, nutmeg, cardamom, ginger, pink pepper. Pretty much the top is all spices. But it also has like more spices throughout. But I don't want to say too much more, because realistically, again, dates with a really smooth, creamy leather, a little bit of spice, and a nice sweetness from a caramel note. That's what you're really going to smell. And on my skin, it seemed to stay linear throughout the wearing experience. Did I like it? I did. That's why this was my favorite at that time from French Avenue. But French Avenue is pretty consistently coming up with new ones, so I don't imagine it's going to be my favorite forever. So let's go ahead and talk about the performance of this. On me, this performs kind of like an extrait. I don't know if it's an extrait because I don't have, it doesn't say it on the bottom here. And I don't know where I put the box. It's here somewhere. In fact, I can see it, but I'm not going to get up right now. It performs like kind of like an extrait. It sits really close and heavy on my skin. It never really projects too much off of it. So in terms of longevity, I get more than a work day, but it never really projects off of my skin. So it's more like people have to be pretty close to me. I don't know if this is going to change, but out of a lot of the French Avenue ones, this is the one that I think sits closest, but it's also the one that I will smell off of my skin the longest. So even after 8 hours, I could smell it on me. But for someone else to smell me, I had to be like right here, or just like, hey, smell this. But I was told that there really wasn't too much sillage, because when I get to work, I work with a few of the same people every day. And usually I have one person specifically that will comment. He told me, he's like, you had I didn't get any scent cloud when you walked in today, like nothing. And I was like, okay, that's good feedback. This was the most recent time I wore it. And every other time I didn't get feedback from anyone either. So I don't think that the sillage is particularly big on this. I don't get a whole bunch of projection, but again, longevity is over 8 hours. In fact, it's over 10 hours. So I came home and I wanted to spray another fragrance, but I had to wash this off in order to do that. And that was after the 10-hour mark. So longevity, great. Again, I think it performs like an extrait. An extrait will typically sit a little bit closer to the skin. Not always. Some of them do kind of project a little bit better, but not really, not the biggest sillage, not the biggest projection. I kind of think, in my opinion, for a fragrance like this, that's better. I don't know that this is something I would want to project too much. I don't really like the idea of any leather fragrance projecting out too much. That's my opinion. I know everyone's going to sit different on that, but I really like the scent itself. And to me, that's what's important. In terms of who can wear this, I think absolutely anyone can wear this. No gender on it. I will say you might need to be a little bit more mature. I don't necessarily think someone who's very youthful is going to enjoy the way the sweetness comes off of this. And I don't know that they're going to enjoy the leatheriness. But a more mature audience is probably going to enjoy it, whether male or female, all honesty. And in terms of season, fall and winter. I wouldn't even wear this in the spring. I'm sure somebody would, and I'm sure someone would rock it in the summer because of the fruitiness. I think that even though the leather is smooth, I think it would definitely be too heavy. And in terms of occasions, honestly, day or night, I think you could be fine wearing it to work. I think because it doesn't project too much, it's really not offensive. If you overspray, I think it would absolutely be offensive. But if you're going to wear like 3 sprays, 3 to 5, I think you could wear it to work. I think you could dress it up. I think you could dress it down. In terms of fall and winter, I actually consider this to be fairly versatile. I think that you could wear it on a date night as long as it's not like a first or second date, because I don't know that this is like a people pleaser. In fact, let me go ahead and segue into the compliments. This one did not get me compliments. The only thing that I got from this, from the person that finally smelled it, said, I don't like it. And I was like, thank you for your honesty. I think leather is a little bit more challenging to people that are not like super into fragrance. I think a lot of us really enjoy leather, but I think like the normal, mall crowd isn't going to be typically the biggest fan. Could I run into more people that do like it? Yes, but every time I wore it, people didn't smell it enough on me to be able to even comment. Like I had to ask somebody after he said, I didn't smell anything on you today, hey, what do you think of this? He said, I do not like it. And I was like, okay, thank you. But again, it's a leather fragrance, so I didn't necessarily think that he was going to love it. Again, it has oud in it. For some reason, the oud really doesn't come off of my skin. Even smelling it on strip, the leather is so loud that I don't get the oud. So I just, in case you saw oud and you wanted to, hear about how the oud is in here, I don't get a ton of oud off my skin. In fact, I really don't get any off of my skin. And the leather is just outperforming it to where I don't know that anyone will. So in terms of bang for buck, I think this is between $40 and $50 and it just came out. So it'll probably get lower. If you like this type of fragrance, I think it's really worth it. I really like the quality of French Avenue fragrances, and this is absolutely no exception. So in my opinion, was this a good buy? Yes. Is it going to be my favorite from French Avenue forever? Probably not, because again, they keep producing more and more really good ones. And I actually look forward to picking up more from them. If you've tried this fragrance, comment down below. As always, remember to like this video. If you liked it, please subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell to get notified when I drop another video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!